The United States (US) announced that it approved the sale of F-35 stealth fighter jets to Japan. There are 105 units of stealth fighter jets that will be purchased by Japan from the U.S. in a sales agreement estimated at US $23.11 billion (Rp. 333.7 trillion). The U.S. State Department in a statement revealed that Japan proposed the purchase of 63 units of F-35A stealth fighter jets and 42 F-35B stealth fighter jets. The U.S. State Department said that the U.S. government had given the go-ahead for the purchase of the stealth jet. The purchase of these stealth jets, according to the U.S. Department of State, will enhance security of key allies in the Asia-Pacific region. Very important for the U.S. national interest to assist Japan in developing and maintaining strong and effective self-defense capabilities, the U.S. State Department statement said. Japan's defense budget 2020-2021 set a record of US $50.3 billion, which is targeted to fund the purchase of fighter jets and missile defense given Japan faces threats from North Korea, and China. In response to China's rapid military modernization, Japan has decided to get a total of 105 F-35A stealth jet units in the next decade, in addition to 42 F-35B stealth jet units. A retired military officer China suddenly issued a statement with a challenge. A retired military officer China suddenly issued a statement with a challenge. Wang Yunfei, a retired naval officer of the People's Liberation Army (PLA), said China ready to fight the threat posed by the United States (US). China has several times experienced threats posed by the US at sea with the deployment of several aircraft carriers. China's determination to maintain territorial integrity, sovereignty and maritime interests will not be shaken after the latest threat posed by the US. The Chinese military is ready and will deal with threats easily. Of course, this challenge was welcomed with joy by the U.S. U.S. Navy officials described this as a freedom of navigation operation. What is tense, at the same time, the Chinese military is also doing exercises near the region. It also said that the ships, which were accompanied by warships and airplanes, were conducting exercises to improve air defenses and long-range missile attacks in the rapidly developing operations area. U.S. analyst Carl Schuster, former director of operations at the U.S. Pacific Command Combined Intelligence Center, said the U.S.-2 aircraft carrier exercise demonstrates a strength that, at least for now, is owned only by the U.S. Navy. China only has one aircraft carrier that is fully operational, with the second approaching that status. But both do not have the size and ability to transport as many aircraft as two U.S. Navy aircraft carriers. And the two aircraft carriers have just finished operating with the third, USS Theodore Roosevelt, near the Philippine Sea. The different scale of combat power shown between the People's Liberation Army Navy training and the United States Navy will be seen. It sends both military and geopolitical signals to China and the region, Schuster said. U.S. Navy training shows who has greater potential strength. Schuster noted that operating two aircraft carriers in the South China Sea could be a more complex operation by having three ships in the Philippine Sea. The Philippine Sea is an open ocean, while the South China Sea is filled with competing claims of air and sea space. Adding to the complexity, the U.S. is adding to its firepower in current training with B-52 bombers flying in warplanes from aircraft carriers. The bomber flew 28 hours non-stop from his headquarters in Louisiana to participate in training, demonstrating the ability of the U.S. Air Force to move assets quickly to world hotspots. This kind of attack shows our ability to reach from home stations, fly anywhere in the world and carry out the mission, quickly regenerate from advanced operations bases and continue operations, said Lieutenant Colonel Christopher Duff, commander of the 96th Bomb Squadron, said in a statement. The Panda state government also said Beijing had more than enough weapons to maintain its position in the South China Sea. The South China Sea is completely within the reach of the PLA, and every movement of U.S. aircraft carriers in the region is closely monitored and directed by the PLA, which has a variety of anti-aircraft carriers such as the DF-21D and DF-26, both of which are considered missiles. The placement of aircraft carriers of the United States and the strength of its attacks are often used as a signal to prevent the enemy. Sending two aircraft carriers at the same time can be seen as a significant demonstration of strength. For example, the then U.S. Secretary of Defense Ashton B. Carter toured two aircraft carriers sailing through the South China Sea as a reminder of Beijing that the United States was committed to allies in the region.